Hi, I'm George Levy, and I'm currently at the North American Bitcoin Conference. Today I have the opportunity to talk to Shawn Bellina from Kiage, a video game development company. Shawn, great speaking with you.
Nice to speak with you, too.
I actually wanted to talk to you specifically because right now all the rage at the North American Bitcoin Conference, we're currently at Bit Basel, Miami's NFT crypto community, and all the rage is NFTs. So you're actually involving some NFTs into the video game space. So I want to hear about all your view because there's a lot of stuff that you're doing really visionary, and I'd like to know more about what Kiage is doing.
So Kiage is, we have a spin, or our take on the play-to-earn model. So we're creating NFT projects that demonstrate the play-to-earn model and some of the financial mechanics by abstracting that through game technology.
Yeah, the interesting thing about it all is that whenever I think about play to earn, yes, so I start thinking, are we talking gambling? Are we talking gaming? Is it a revenue opportunity? To me, video games should be fun. Yeah. So the fact that I would say is like, how do you mix the whole like entertainment value with the business model in NFTs? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it's complicated, but essentially inside of entertainment, from our perspective, you have a utility value. And with the mechanics of cryptocurrency, you have a redistribution mechanism. So in our model, there's a way to play a game, have that person create some value, utility value, and then a percentage of that flow back to the player.
That was one of my quick questions. What's the utility value? And that answers it. Now the question would be, so going back specifically, character driven, like what projects are you working on? What could we expect to see? What's coming down the pipeline?
Right. So, to break into the space and to try to get people's attention, we've done the first project that we're doing. It's a little bit funny. It's the title of the project is "Men with Tiny Penises that Powerful Men with Tiny Penises that Run the World."
Okay.
Yeah. So
Wait. Men with tiny penises.
Powerful men with tiny penises.
Powerful men with tiny penises
that run the world.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so the approach there.
That's pretty pushy.
Yeah,
that's pretty pushy.
Weird. So each one. So imagine that you have this pantheon of very powerful people that are in cohorts. So it has the collectible value.
Kind of like a cabal type of deal.
Yeah, they distribute. I mean, you can make them that way. So it's a distribution of powerful people, right? Okay. And each one of those is rendered somewhere between something that you would see in a game and a Pokemon card. So they have a very gamey feel to it. And how we assemble that going forward to build the utility value is what we're hoping to demonstrate. That's our core competency, is creating narrative and then creating complex value by putting it into a game envelope so everybody can sort of intuitively understand what's going on by playing the game and making it.
But it's kind of like I'm just trying to think about world events that are happening. So that's part of the narrative, I would assume. Yeah, and it ties in, and then like I guess some powerful men with tiny penises may be more valuable than other powerful men with tiny penises because they have a bigger role in what's going on in the world.
Right. So that you said that's one of the things that I think is really confusing for people. And
then you want to collect, I guess, the powerful man with the tiniest penis or a tiny penis who has the biggest impact in the world.
Right, or might have the biggest future impact in the world. So
got it. Okay.
Yeah, so one of the things that we're going to do as the project evolves, or we're going to throw it out there to the community, is I know that we can develop a futures market off of kind of crummy people. And the mechanics.
So like a futures market, like the foreseen value of the impact of what that powerful man with the tiny penis is doing? Like you're seeing a... Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. So really that's the interesting thing about crypto is if you take the cotton market and say what's different about the cotton market than the news cycle and the people that are on there, because they do have an implicit utility value. They're driving revenue. And what happens if we model that and then have a coin behind it? The answer is there's nothing that's different.
Wow. No, mind you, because you're blowing my mind away. I'm thinking about like fantasy football, like, and I'm thinking about it's like a fantasy world happenings, right? Yeah. But you have to stay up to date with what's really currently going on in the world because that will have an impact on the, okay, wow, okay, got it, cool. And you're currently working on that right now? It's actually in execution?
Yeah, that we're, if everything goes right, we're going to drop that project, and I think in a week. I might have that wrong. I always get the dates wrong, but it's within a week. And we're currently whitelisting right now on our Discord server. And if you want to participate in the whitelist, go to tinypenis.io, get on the Discord server, and get on the whitelist.
Okay, got it. So is the Discord is actually live right now, so you could be part of the tinypenis.io project by going to tinypenis.io. Got it. Understood. So Kiage is involved in Tiny Penis. You're involved in other projects as well. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Mind you, not that the Tiny Penis part is impressive, but there's a lot more stuff going on.
Yeah, so there's just a ton of stuff that we're doing with our studio. So we're doing 3 projects really, really quick, back to back, because again, we're trying to demonstrate utility value. And these are kind of heavy-duty concepts behind it. So there's a financial engineering component to everything that we do that's big-brained, but you have to have the entertainment value. What we're trying to demonstrate as a studio is we have both of those capacities. But the important one is the first read, what's going to get people into the project, and that's the entertainment one. That gets more people into crypto, that makes crypto understandable. It helps people understand what the utility value is.
One thing I was going to say, and mind you, I'm actually, in some ways, I'm actually like really excited to speak with you because you have a background also like Adult Swim, Cartoon Network. Like you come from, like you've seen this happen in my mind growing up. I mean, there was the world before Adult Swim, and then Adult Swim came along, and to me, Robot Chicken. There's all this, like the world just didn't behave like that before. The Cartoon Network just completely took a different direction. You were part of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so it's a very, very similar situation. So there was literally 500 channels that people were promising one another in the early, this is in the early days of cable when I was involved in it. And no one had any idea of what they were going to put on it, nor how they were going to finance those things. And what ended up happening, because the incentive moved, really, and there was a lot of pressure to fill those 500 channels. That's how reality television got invented, because you had to do it fast, quick, and it had to be something that people could digest. So, NFTs are in the same situation. It's hard to sort of understand where the utility value is. There's a lot of promise on it, and now someone has to deliver it both on the utility value and on communicating, how this works, other than just sort of like the collectible market. Games are getting into it right now. There's a lot of buzz about, how the metaverse is going to work. But there's really big companies that are anything but distributed. And I don't think anybody understands what the goal of the metaverse is. It kind of sounds Second Life-y.
No, one thing I will say, and just to put things in context, is in some ways I see some similarities. It was a bold move. That was a bold bet. Just taking it, and it was risque. You actually you went in a direction that like people didn't expect you to do. I guess Tiny Penis, in some ways, it's a really bold move too.
Yeah, so you want to get people's attention, right? And then you want to take, just like what happened with Adult Swim. So we did some stuff that was, super controversial at the time. People said this isn't going to work, and then it did work. Then they started to adopt it over time. But you have to be, willing to take that sort of choppy ride. But the only way that we could just demonstrate to them that was correct is you had to move the advertising dollar. And there was a bunch of legal stuff and stuff that was going on, but there was a very complex dynamic, and you had to prove it, right? So what we're trying to do with these 3 projects is say, this is the way that we view this thing, let us prove it to you. And then once we have something, a successful project, that we can keep on building the brand. That's like what we do really, really good. Take this brand and then turn it into something that just keeps on evolving, that returns value. I think that's what we're really after.
Excellent. So I would say for the audience that actually wants to know more about Kiage, what you're doing, if you had to tell them specifically, go to this direction and take this action, what would you encourage people to do?
So right now, definitely go to tinypenis.io, because that's the first project. The Happy Killers is the second project that we're going to release. I think that's in 3 weeks. I'd have to check if I'm not screwing up the dates. And then we're doing a sneaker project right after that. And once we've done that, we're going to wrap everything up in a DAO. But we'll get back to you when we do that, because it's just a lot to digest.
No, and I would love to do it, especially when you bring in a decentralized autonomous organization, the whole DAO component, the whole blockchain component. I would love to hear the audience, my audience particularly, really likes the whole angle. So to bring in everything you're doing, not just from the NFT angle, but into the blockchain and DAO component, that will be a really interesting discussion. I would love to have that conversation with you.
Yeah, we'd love to describe what we're trying to do and talk with you further. Thanks.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. Wishing you and the Kiage team a lot of success, and the Tiny Penis project as well. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something in the process. I bring you brand new videos every single week, so make sure to subscribe to this channel. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm George Levy. We're changing the world, one blockchain at a time. See you next time.